Page 346, From the Many Lives of Benjamin Franklin by Aliki. Benjamin Franklin did so many amazing things that it seems as if he lived many lives. He opened a printing shop and printed his own newspaper. He lent out his many books and started the first free lending library in America. He started a police force, a fire department, and a hospital. When he was 42, Benjamin Franklin gave up his print shop so he could spend all his time with his new ideas. He invented many useful things during this part of his life. Ben started scientific experiments and soon became a master. He was the first to prove lightning was electricity. One day, during a thunderstorm, he tried a dangerous experiment with a kite and a key, and found he was right. He realized how to protect houses from lightning and invented the lightning rod. People put Franklin rods upon their rooftops in America and in other countries too. Page 348. He experimented in his garden and found better ways to grow crops. He invented glasses called bifocals. He could see far out of the top of the glasses and near out of the bottom. He introduced Swiss barley, Chinese rhubarb, Newton apples, willow for baskets, and turnips to America. He found out that black cloth keeps one warmer than white by laying pieces of cloth in the snow. After some time, the black cloth was warmed by the sun and sank into the snow. The white didn't. Benjamin Franklin made many discoveries in his lifetime, but he refused money for them. He said his ideas belonged to everyone. He wrote them down, and they were translated into many languages. He became the best-known man in America. More than anything, Benjamin hoped people would listen to his most important idea, freedom for his country. For at that time, America was an English colony. He and others did not want to be ruled by England any longer. He was sent to England to seek independence for his country. For 18 long years, Benjamin stayed there and worked for that goal. In 1775, he returned to Philadelphia, sad and disappointed. His wife had died. War with England had begun, and America was still not free. Page 350. Pennsylvania State House, now called Independence Hall, in 1776. Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, John Hancock, and 52 others signed the Declaration of Independence in Philadelphia on July 4, 1776. Yet he persisted. Benjamin Franklin and other great Americans helped Thomas Jefferson write the Declaration of Independence. They were determined to be free. They knew they would have to fight a long, terrible war, and fight they did. General George Washington led many battles during the Revolutionary War. Page 352. In France, he visited King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette. Though everyone wore fancy clothes and powdered wigs, Benjamin Franklin did not. Everyone was impressed with the inventor's plain clothes and simple ways. But they needed more help. Benjamin Franklin was old and weary when again he sailed away. This time he went to ask for aid from the King of France. Benjamin was greeted as a hero. People in France knew about him and his inventions, and they loved him. Finally, the king agreed. With his help, the war with England was won. America was free at last. In 1781, the war ended. The Liberty Bell in Independence Hall rang out. On September 13, 1785, his ship entered Philadelphia harbor. Bells rang, cannons boomed, and hundreds of people waited to welcome Benjamin home. He was reunited at last with his daughter Sally and her husband Richard Bach and his grandchildren. Benjamin Franklin had served abroad long enough. He wanted to spend his last years at home. When he finally returned from France, it was 1785. He thought he had been forgotten. But he had not been forgotten. He was greeted with wild celebrations. He saw his country still needed him. He became the first governor of Pennsylvania and helped write the Constitution of the United States. Benjamin Franklin lived 84 years. He left the world his inventions, his ideas, his wisdom, and his wit. He lived his many lives for all of us. On September 17, 1787, Benjamin Franklin and the other great writers of the Constitution signed the document on which all laws of the United States are based.